I am Majin here. Welcome to my channel. If you are here today just to support, you're a real one. If you are here for the title of the thumbnail, if you are here, oh, okay. Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Majin here. If you are new here and you're just clicking on this video because of the title and the thumbnail, yes, we are going to be doing a reading on your girl Taylor Swift. She is taking the week by storm with her latest album drop called The Life of a Showgirl. It seems as if the public commentary on it has been rattling a lot of people's cages. It's a lot of discourse around it. And then there, on the traditional media stages, there seems to be a lot of praises that the public doesn't feel is appreciated or is acceptable for this body of work that she has put out. Um, Without getting into the weeds of it all, because obviously I'm hoping that since you're here and you're watching this because of Taylor Swift, you pretty much know a lot of the arguments that have been kind of like juxtaposed here with her album, is which I predicted a lot of that on my exclusive content for her upcoming album drop. I mentioned there was probably going to be a lot of immaturity. There was going to be some rushing, feelings that there was going to probably be some mention of a pop star or something on here. Her breakthrough collaboration with um, Sabrina Carpenter. I didn't name Sabrina Carpenter at the time. I just said there seems like there's a big artist that she's going to be collaborating with, or an unexpected artist that she was going to be collaborating with for the album. There was a lot that I really pointed out in that reading. And if you want to see the exclusive reading, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee or Kofi, which I think they also pronounce coffee, and you can get that as well. So, yeah, and one of the songs that seems to really be rattling people's cages is is it Truly Love, I think it is. She does a diss against Charli XCX, basically accusing her of doing drugs and calling her names and high-fiving her ex. I believe his name is Healy. Um for breaking up with her and for calling her out for being a poser. And so I wanted to get into a reading on the mess and see, was she really calling out Charli XCX? If she was, what's the beef there between these two? If there's beef there, and kind of like what can we expect moving forward? Because I do wonder if Charli XCX is going to drop a diss track as well in retaliation to Taylor's comments. We'll see. So without further ado, I'm going to get into this and I'm going to pull some cards. I did cleanse these. Today I'm doing something a little different. I am going to be using two tarot decks just because I want to make sure that I am getting to the depth of this. I'm making sure that I'm reading this correctly. And then I'm going to move it on from there, okay? So, with that all being said, please keep in mind, as I often remind those who are my day ones, or the ones who always come in and check in and stop by. Hello, how are you? Think of me as a spiritual translator. With me being a translator, that means there are some things that's going to be lost in translation. There are going to be some things that is mistranslated or misconstrued, but I'm going to try my best to deliver my full unfiltered, well, my full filtered thoughts or intuitive messages that I'm receiving, and delivering them all to you. But with doing so, know that I am human, so that means I am fallible. I will mess up. I was about to cuss. I will mess up, and that's why I always encourage you to practice and utilize your powers of discernment as well in doing my readings. Please note that all statements made are alleged for entertainment purposes only, and I do try to differentiate when I am giving my intuitive thoughts versus my own opinions. At least I try to. Sometimes I may fail at that, but I'm trying to get better with that. Because I know some people can't see, especially because you can't see my face. It's hard sometimes to discern whether I am just kind of like being sarcastic or not. But I would think you could kind of hear that with my voice, but just in case you don't, I try to differentiate that. All right. So let's see what's going on between Taylor and Charli. Again, if you want to see my exclusive content for that, I will put a link down in the description. I'm pointing up here. It's not an iCard. I'll put a link down in the description for you to get access to that exclusive content because I did not post it on here. Or to the public, I should say. And before anyone asks, no, I have not listened to Taylor Swift's album. I'm not a T Swiftie or a Swifter, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care for her music like that. Yeah, I just don't care for anything she has really done. Actually, I'm lying. I do like one song in particular from her. I want to say it's Drive, I think. It's something about she mentions James Dean, Look in Your Eyes or something. You got that something something. I like that song, but I haven't really heard much else from her that I really wanted to tune into. And I only heard that song because I was working in retail at the time and they played that very often. So it just kind of got stuck for me. So yeah, I'm not a Swifter. I'm just don't really care to listen to her music. It's not for me, and be okay with that. You like it, whatever. But okay, so this is the card. The Four of Wands for her in the upright. This is Charli XCX, or this is Taylor's. The energy between the two. We have a disc and a cups here. That's the underlying energy. Okay, so looking at Taylor's energy here, we have the King of Wands. I'm not surprised this is coming up for her. She is a Sagittarius. I know some people will want to be like, well, why wouldn't she get the queens? It doesn't always depend on just somebody's sexuality and things like that, or gender. I should say, not sexuality, her gender. But sometimes the cards just come out like that. That's her energy, the King of Wands energy. I guess she's really like in her bag, or stepping into her masculine energy, maybe in the sense of just like, I kind of want to say peeling back the curtains and not just really giving a f what people think or not. I think it's probably the energy. The Fool card being here just makes me feel like, I don't know, is she kind of like having fun? Is this like poking fun? You know what I kind of feel like this is? I feel like this is bait. I almost feel like, is this the energy? I want to say is almost like, maybe it could be mean girlish, but it kind of feels like mean girlish, but in a I'm just kidding kind of place. Like, it's all fun and games. Like, that's kind of like the energy I'm getting. With this being the Fool and the King of Wands here for Taylor. For Charli, I'm not understanding why the Four of Wands came up for her, because traditionally the Four of Wands is usually something dealing with home, matrimony, happiness. The Four of Wands coming up for Charli? I need more information on that one. Okay, not counting these. Sorry, my finger bumped it. Okay, this one flipped over. Okay, so Ace of Cups in reverse. Is it just like rebranding? I don't know why. Again, okay, I'm just telling you what I feel like it's coming through. It's like words popping up. This feels like, okay, thanks for mentioning me. Rebranding. Um, okay, this is something else I'm getting to. Um, I feel like from Charli, I think there was something there where she was kind of feeling like, what was the beef or the rivalry or some of the weird feelings she was getting from Taylor. She thought it was just all herself. Like she thought it was kind of like all in her head. But now she's kind of like, well, I'm glad to see it's confirmed that it's not just in my head, that you actually were being weird or feeling that way towards me, and I should have trusted my instincts, kind of thing. I think that's what her energy is. This is very different from what I typically. Okay. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Three of Cups here in between them. Nine of Pentacles. So for me, this is really interesting that we have the Nine of Pentacles here between the two, because for me, typically the Nine of Pentacles is like the girl boss card. You know, it's the woman really enjoying and sitting in her bag. You know, I'm back in my bag on God kind of energy. Like I'm really just boss now here. Like I don't care what you say, what you do. And so it kind of feels like, I was about to say battle of the bands, but it's like, is it battle of the girls, battle of the pop girls that's happening here? Um, Again, why does this always seem to come up with Taylor where it seems like she's like trying to sun people? I don't know what that is. And then we have the Three of Cups here, so I wonder if there is some, who was a mutual friend or something between them. I feel like I got this for, was this Sabrina Carpenter? I did a reading on Taylor Swift for. I don't know. That was Billie Eilish. Oh, that was Billie Eilish's reading that I didn't post because the video was acting crazy. I did a post about it though. Um, this was probably like last year. It was soon after Charli XCX and Billie did that collab on that song. I think it was Guess. Is this about Billie Eilish? Cause those are, cause when I think of like the pop girls, those are like the three big, I should say white pop girls. They're like the three biggest white pop girls out right now. With the inclusion, I would probably say of Sabrina right now. Like they're pretty big and up there. Well, you know what? You also do have to add Tate. I think it's a Tate McRae in that as well. I don't know if there's anybody else, but those are like the five I usually hear about on my radar. But I could be wrong. But I wonder, is this about Billie? Hmm? Okay, and then the underlying energies here, I'm getting the Hanged Man, looking at something from a different perspective, getting out of a box on something. The King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. A lot of materialism here. This could be a lot to do with the industry. Are things about to like really heat up? Why do I feel like Taylor is about to have a Nicki moment? If you know what I'm trying to hint at here, I wonder if she's about to have a bit of a Nicki moment. It's probably not gonna look in the same way as Nicki, but I feel like it's gonna very much play out in a form of like a Nicki or a Drake fall off. Not that she's actually gonna fall off or anything. I'm not picking up on that, but it just kind of feels like it's gonna be Taylor versus everybody else in pop, or it's gonna be like you're either on my team or you're not. Like that's interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's get some more tarot cards. Let's get some more tarot cards. I okay, so here, I feel like intuitively this is coming through, but I'm gonna say this is my question, my own personal question here. I wonder if there was something here where like Taylor, Billie, and Charli probably once used to be and why do I feel like Lord? I don't know. But why do I feel like they were like all in like this like bubble together at first, and maybe they were like, or they, you know, has some kind of like adjacent connection here with one another. And I wonder if there was something here where kind of like Billy warned Charli, and Charli was, trying to be the mature one in the situation, just be like, well, let me make my own decisions or assumptions about Taylor once I meet her. And it was just kind of like, oh, well, just off of the energy and us interacting those few times, like, yeah, no, I think it's, especially now with this song, this definitely feels solidified to me. Like, yeah, I feel vindicated essentially for feeling the way that I feel. And not you kind of like gaslighting me into thinking that, oh, it was just a one-sided thing, like I was just beefing with myself. Okay, look, now we have the Queen of Wands in reverse. And the Queen of Wands in reverse is somebody who's very much like, I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to get my fucking lick back. I don't care if I have to chase you down to the ends of the earth. I don't care if by the time I get you, it's going to be assured mutual destruction. Um, but assured mutual destruction, I don't know if I said that, but yeah. But whatever I got to do to make sure I get back at you to on revenge, I'm gonna do it. Like, ooh, it's funny. The Page of Cups came up for Charli, but let's see what else fell. I'm gonna put these back in the deck because they spilled all on the floor. But I have the Page of Cups. Funny enough, the Wheel here coming up in reverse, and then I have the Ten of Wands for Charli. Let's see. Okay, you see how that we do have. Why it seems like she's like pulling. There's some kind of pulling away Charli is trying to do with this. Does she feel like it's not going to be beneficial to her to go after her or something? Or is it because of like what her brand is in the sense that it's just not going to help her out or something? There's some hesitancy, some kind of pulling back here that's going on. And I doubt it's a thing of like, because I feel like she has already been kind of like pushed to the side before in the industry, and she had to kind of like make her way back. That's why Brat was so explosive, because she kind of like fell off, for lack of a better word, sorry, before. So I don't think that should be the fear here, but I kind of wonder if that's a underlying issue. Okay, look at what's trying to fall out here. The Emperor, and notice it's a chessboard here between the Emperor and the Hierophant. It's the Queen coming for the Empress position. It's the Princess rivaling the Queen. Um, it's those chess moves. I was gonna say checkers. It's those chess moves. And I don't know if Charli is the Earth sign, but I was about to say, I wonder if there's something here because of the Earth fire symbolism here. I don't know what Charli's is astrology zodiac is, but yeah, the Emperor and the Hierophant. And then I also wonder if this is a commentary because, again, with the Hierophant, it doesn't always mean like religious structures. Sometimes it's just those structures or those unspoken rules of society. So I wonder if there's a thing here about, the masses versus the institutions kind of thing here going on. What is the underlying energies? We have the Knight of Swords, Two of Coins. The coins is gonna steady come up for them. I kind of get the so the image that's coming to mind is like Taylor is sitting up there with like the wooden the wooden ruler like smacking her hand, and she's waiting for who, like, soon as she see anybody hand kind of like clawing up and reaching for a branch to kind of like pull themselves over the ledge, she's like whacking that hand, like she's like, it seems like she's like taking people to task, essentially is what it feels like. That's like the imagery that came to mind. um it's also interesting that the Two of Coins is coming up here, because to me that's like a financial decision. I don't know why the financial decision will be coming up. And then the Knight of Coins, one of the So is Moving Knights, is also here in a stalemate. I wonder if people, if there's some hesitancy because somebody is worried about how it's going to impact their wallets or the music industry as a whole. Maybe they don't want this to be a thing, because I feel like this was something else I was getting with Billy and Taylor too, where it's kind of like they want them to have, like, it's okay y'all have a proxy war, but it can't be like a very public out there kind of war. And I don't know why they wouldn't want that. I would think they would make money, but I wonder if it's a thing here. Sorry, I have to say it, because you gotta call a spade, you gotta call a thing a thing. I wonder if they don't want this to be a thing, because for what it looks like overall is that these are white women fighting in the music industry. That's something we say for those people of color. We don't do that with the white people, okay? I'm sorry I have to say it that way. That's just, you are people of a particular group, a particular race, or a particular look, a ethnic group, and we need things to kind of be appear a certain way. Oh, I almost shuffled these wrong. Okay. Let's see here. Why feels like something crawling on my arm? Okay, and this one flipped over. Oh, I have 5 cards that flipped over. So let's see. These are at the end. Let's see. Can I move these up a little bit? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So these can kind of be on screen so you can see them without them being cut off. Okay, so we have the air, unseen potential and hesitation. Yeah, this just makes me feel like battling for the quote unquote throne. The twins here with self protection and dual nature. Self protection and dual nature. I want to feel like this is Gemini ish to me. But it also makes me feel like it's going back to that proxy war thing of like, this can't be like a very public out there kind of thing. You can let people assume that you're throwing jabs at each other. We also have the merchant, self worth, and trade. Is this a battle of insecurities? Is that what this pretty much is? The fate, accepting help, guidance, and then we have the runway, which is secrets, running from problems. Okay. I'm not gonna. I don't know who started what. I'm not getting that. I don't understand that. I'm not in either one of their worlds or fandoms like that to know what's going on. But in this instance, in this particular fallout, it does feel that there was some interaction here amongst like a group of people, and whatever that interaction was that brought about, between Taylor Swift and Charli, it kind of feels like um in this instance, it kind of feels like Charli started it first, not on purpose, not intentionally. Hear me clearly, not intentionally or on purpose. I don't feel that, but it kind of seems like she probably might have said something or did something that triggered Taylor, and it was kind of like one of those things where, this is all alleged, because I feel like that's what this is. So I'm just giving what I think it is, an example. Um, where she said something or did something that made everybody else in the group, it felt like it was an inside joke to everybody else in the group. um and Taylor felt like it was probably about her or against her or rubbed her the wrong way. And that sparked the animosity between the two. Unbeknownst to Charli, because it was like it sparked it for Taylor, and then Taylor kind of feel like she came after Charli after that, and Charli was like, "Well, what the freak is going on here? What is why the passive aggressiveness, or why the weirdness, or did she just make that remark to like be funny or to like shade me or something? Like what is this?" And Charli probably kept it to herself for a minute, or was like asking people, or like double checking herself, like, am I being weird? Am I overthinking this? Or because I wouldn't think that would be a case. I don't think I did anything for her to be like that towards me. And with everything that has transpired, it's kind of like, you know what? Nope. Matter of fact, yes, absolutely, you do have a problem with me, and I don't know what kicked it off, but now it's game on. Like, that's what it feels like happened at the root of this. And I do think other people were involved, aka like, or in the midst of the mess here. And I think that's why the Three of Cups is coming up here. It does kind of feel like it could have been, Charli's boyfriend. It could have been Taylor's ex-boyfriend. It could be Billy involved in this. It could be their, each of these people's management companies or PR people, etc., etc., their teams or friends and stuff like that. There were other people and go-betweens in here, and it just kind of like muddied the waters and just made this even more of a mess. And excuse me, I do expect there to be more mudslinging. I don't know if anybody is going to actually come out outright and say something, but I definitely feel like there's going to be more mudslinging. And it's gonna be like, well, who's gonna come out? Who's gonna come out the cleanest pig? Like, that's what it feels like to me. That's what this is feeling like. It feels very high school, and I hate that I always kind of get this energy when it comes to Taylor. It just always feels so immature, like always. It feels very trivial. It just feels very trivial. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to make it where it seems like it feels like elementary, middle schoolish to me, or even high school for some people, but it just really does feel trivial. Like, this could have very much been talked about and dealt with if people knew how to actually interact with other people, and talk, and not always feel like somebody was coming at them. And yes, I'm being shady like this on purpose, because I do think, and I have to be fair, I don't know Charli like that, but it does feel like she has been, like, she can deal with adversity more than Taylor. I feel like Taylor has been a bit more coddled, a bit more emotionally stunted than Charli. And it's not trying to pick on her or anything like that, but it does feel like there is a lot of growing on her side when it comes to, basically, it just doesn't feel like, when it comes to emotional IQ, it doesn't feel like it's been keeping up with her, with Taylor Swift's age, if that makes sense. And I don't want to say this, girl, I don't want people to infantilize her or anything like that. But it just, again, just feels like she's been sheltered. That's probably the best way to say it. She's been very sheltered or naive about some of the things. Like, I think she is very smart when it comes to probably other things, but when it comes to like emotional intelligence, I don't think so. And I do think it could be something as simple as like, somebody could be sarcastically saying something, and she would think it's them attacking her because she doesn't know how to just roll with the punches or something like that, or just laugh it off, or just be like, okay, maybe that person was talking about me, but what the fuck ever, like, I'm gonna go do me. So yeah, that's what I feel like the issue is here. I do think these two have some kind of beef. I feel like it can be something, I don't know about now if it can be cleared up. I feel like it could, but I don't think it's going to be. And I do think there's going to be more mudslinging. And I think there's more people involved. Again, to me, I keep feeling like Billy might be a part of this as well, because this is like, I'm picking up on some of the same strings that I was picking up in that reading between Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they collab, Billy and Charli collab again on something, and just kind of like or again, to reference this for the people who are big fans in hip hop, or if you've seen some of the stuff that's going on in hip hop, I would not be surprised if there's a thing where it's like it's gonna be Nicki, aka Taylor Swift, and then there's all the other girls. It's gonna be Billie, um, I would say if we had to kind of like equate this very loosely, it would kind of feel like Sabrina Carpenter is kind of probably like the Ice Spice or the JT in the situation. Taylor Swift is the Nicki, and Charlie XCX and Billy. I don't know if you would count Lord as a part of that. It's kind of like the Lottos, the Megans, and the Cardi B alliance over here, kind of going up against them. So that's what it kind of boiled down to me. If for people who isn't in this realm, that feels like the TLDR of it all. So yeah, let me know if there's something more to this, or if there's something here that I pulled on that can clarify. But yeah, I do think the girls are fighting. I don't think you're gonna catch them out in the street fighting. I'm not picking up on that. Again, I just feel like it's gonna be more mudslinging. Um, it's going to be more things of like, could she be referencing or inferring that this is so and so? But they're probably not going to just outright say it. So yeah, let me know what you all think down in the comment section below. If you like this reading, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like this reading, give it a thumbs down. If you would like to see more readings like this, make sure to hit the notification bell and select and subscribe so you can see the next time that I upload. With all that being said, it's getting messy out here in the Hollywood streets because the girls are just taking over and fighting. So we'll see. I'm sure we probably don't have to wait that long. It'll probably be next year at the latest, like March, April or something, before we hear more on this. So we'll see. See you all in the next one. Bye.